Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. My name is Hank. With me today, for some strange reason, is Ben.
I don't know what happened. I sat down and Audacity opened itself, and it's Destiny.
No, we're not talking about Destiny today.
I knew it as soon as I said it. Yeah. Yep.
No, we're here to talk about Magic the Gathering.
Surprise!
I mean, mostly it's because I want to record 2 episodes, and there's Magic news, so
There is, and
might as well talk about it.
As you said, it's a bit more time sensitive.
Yeah. So, Throne of Eldraine happened. The new
Yes,
set. It came out. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that Field of the Dead still existed, but Field of Ruin didn't. So
Yes.
suddenly we had a land that did a thing. It was very good. And we had Golos, who's a land tutor. And then there was no good land destruction, because the best land destruction card, which was a land that destroyed other lands, even though it was kind of inefficient at it, was now gone, so there was no good answer.
Yeah.
And so everybody freaked out. And the funny thing is, so it got banned. But the funny thing is, at the Mythic Championship, the pro level event, the deck wasn't actually that good, or even the decks that played it. Like, they had like a 50% win rate or something around there.
Well,
Like, they didn't run away with anything. They didn't win. There was only one of them in the top 8. But then it got banned anyway. And they moved the date up to like right after the event. Although I've since realized that that's actually more of a logistical thing anyway, that if they wanted to ban something after the event but before the next one, they kind of had to do it immediately, because like decks are due for the next Mythic Championship in like 2 weeks. So that's really more of what this was about. And even so the opposite coin of that is, even the reason that is banned is not because it was too strong necessarily. It was a logistical thing of it creating bad game, like these game states that people fucking hated because it just so many zombie tokens.
Yeah.
It like literally does the thing that they were afraid a mass was going to do when they were making that mechanic, and it originally created like separate tokens instead of just pumping up this one thing of all these zombie tokens. But then there's this land that does it, and they clearly didn't test around it enough, because I'm assuming they thought it was like a commander card or whatever.
Yeah.
And they didn't realize how playable it would be in standard.
They just needed
it's,
to make it
the thing that
legendary, and it would have been fine, I think. Dealing with 1 isn't a huge problem. Like, that's semi-palatable. The problem is when you have 4.
So I've actually found the coolest way to play Field of the Dead.
Is it stealing other people's
is-
Fields of the Dead?
Even better.
Oh, shit.
It's playing it in 5-color Niv Mizzet, but it's in 5-color Niv Mizzet that uses the Fae of Wishes, Fires of Invention thing.
Hell
so
yeah.
you Fae of Wishes for Field of the Dead.
Oh my god.
That I have 1 Field of the Dead in my sideboard only. That then I Fae of Wishes for sometimes when it's good, and that's still great. It turns out you still just win games because of that. So that card's real good, and I'm sad that particular play pattern is going away, because that one is hilarious.
I do know.
Fae of Wishes is just get a non-creature card.
Yeah.
Turns out lands count.
I
haven't seen anybody else use it that way, but
well, yeah, because it's insane. Normally, if people are gonna drink and drive, they do it before getting into the car. They don't keep a flask in the glove compartment.
So I've got like 2 more days on Arena to play that deck. Because for whatever reason, it's taking 2 days for the banning to actually take place on Arena.
Yeah.
Even though it's like immediate on MTGO.
I know they also said
hilariously, the deck that actually won the Mythic Championship is kind of bad. It's the Gruul aggro deck.
Oh yeah.
And Javier Dominguez, who's like won a billion. He's like he's so fucking good at Magic. He like made the cut on both days due to tiebreakers. Like he was just he went 8-6 with the deck. Just barely sliding in, but then ran the table in top 8.
Nice.
So it's just one of those like, yeah, Gruul aggro won the tournament. It wasn't good. It's not actually a good deck. As soon as Javier Dominguez submitted it, he was saying like, "What am I doing?
What have I done?"
But he won because that's Magic.
You just got it's the heart of the cards.
But yeah, so what are your thoughts, Ben, before I go into some other things about our new standard?
Well, I know they had said like along with the board state, and it's kind of a very related, but they had said particularly a lot of games were going to
in
time.
Paper.
Yeah, in paper, of course. And I've seen like there was I don't know if you saw the clip. It was like a Twitch clip from a stream. And they like cut to some random standard match while they're talking about something, and it's just the whole thing is just a fucking mess. It's just an absolute wreck on the table, and the guy's like, "Oh no, go back, cut back, no, and they like cut this. They like go back to the caster. He's like, "I don't want to look at that." It's like gross. Like he just didn't want to dissect what was going on camera because it's like Field of the Dead and like a billion tokens.
Yeah.
I assume without like being as in touch with what's going on, it seems like they are assuming that the ramp decks are doing so good because they're the thing that competes with Field of the Dead. And now without Field of the Dead, other shit can come in and hopefully balance out ramp and maybe more specifically like Oko. Like people have been mentioning that black might be a bit more viable now, so you can just throw Noxious Grasp. You can just throw that into decks and problem solved ideally.
It's not so much that the band decks are better, or rather that the Field of the band deck was particularly good at killing Field of the Dead, and that's why it was so good. It's that their hope is Field of the Dead was so good, everyone had to use slots for it.
Yeah.
And so they weren't probably prepared for Bant in the way that they were prepared for Field of the Dead. Because the thing is, there were multiple decks that did okay against Field of the Dead. Like again, Field of the Dead did not do great.
Yeah.
It was the Bant ramp deck that did unbelievable. Like the Bant ramp deck had like a 70% win rate.
Yeah, no, they were all. I think someone said like, what was it? The top 8 was mostly ramp, and usually Bant ramp, and then like the next 6 or 10 decks or something were all Golos Field. Like none of them were way up there, and then in like second tier, that's everything was just Field.
It was because it was like, I mean, like the Golos decks were like a really high percentage of the field, but also Oko was a high percentage of the field too.
Yeah.
Like I think there might have been more Oko in decks than even Field of the Dead. I'm not 100% on that, but
there's
it's
also,
like
there's more answers.
There's a lot.
To Oko. In theory. In theory,
you're right. Like the problem was there, but like what good answer? You have to answer Oko on turn 2.
Yeah.
Whereas Field of the Dead, you have to answer on like turn 4 or whatever, you can end the game before that happens. Like the actual good aggro decks, the Cavalcade deck and the Knight deck, like actually can kill you before Field of the Dead gets online all the time. So that's that's the weird thing. Like the way the Mythic Championships work, these decks get submitted weeks before the tournament happens. So at the time, like, Field of the Dead really did seem like oppressively good. Yeah. But since, like, you don't play against those Golos Field of the Dead decks that much. Like, I think it's a combination of people hating that deck, but also enough people were playing the aggro decks and winning enough that it kind of you're not playing it all the time.
Yeah.
It is one of those things where like the inbred, like the fact that so many people were playing Golos at the Mythic Championship is a little outsized compared to what I'm actually like experience playing on Arena.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I played the deck.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's good, but also you can definitely get caught dirtling. And in that amount of time, well, they've now had 4 turns to set up shit, and I'm finally slapping down Field of the Dead, maybe.
Yeah. 'Cause, like, the thing is, the thing about the Field of the Dead is it's the best thing super late game.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like, the stupid thing is you get into these weird matches where it's all about Agent of Treachery back and forth Field of the Deads or whatever.
Oh my god, yep. Had a couple of those.
Which is why you need those, like, your Teferi to bounce your Agent of Treachery to steal their lands, whatever. But also, like, the deck was great early on before people had figured out the right build for the Knight deck.
Yeah.
Because the new build where you just play, like, you play the Knight stuff, you play Rotting Regisaur, and you play Embercleave. And you're just, like, you can kill people incredibly fast if you have good draws.
Yeah.
Like, 3 mana, 7/6 into +1/+1 and double strike and trample is pretty fucking good.
See, and I still, like, I guess the reason why I'm a little bit happy with the ban is I really like Golos, but I like his 7 cost ability where you get to play shit for free. That's fun. And
the thing about the Field of the Dead decks, like, you can do that. You can build like, if it's around, it's just usually they have to kill it immediately because or else they lose. Like, that's just what usually happens. Because the thing is, in the standard, there are lots of answers for creatures. So, like, you play a 5-mana creature, it's probably just going to die immediately before your next turn. Probably.
Yeah, sometimes.
I feel like is what usually that's what usually happens with Golos. Like, I just don't... In a game, like, or I just win. Like, it's not... It's like one or the other. I don't know.
Maybe it'll be less so now. There might be a nice window where people are like... He's not getting
feared. But I mean, the fear now is that while the Field of the Dead decks were good at, like, the end game stuff, they were so focused on the going bigger thing that then the decks that could slip under came it back. But it's really hard to slip under Oko. Like, Oko is incredibly good at smothering aggressive decks with the amount of life gain and loyalty it has. And it's like, now Oko is clearly the best thing.
Oh, easily. Maybe even before,
like, it's not even fucking, like, Oko is clearly the focus thing. Yeah, like, that's the thing. You banned Field of the Dead, but Field of the Dead was like the second best thing probably to Oko, if you really looked at it.
Yeah.
And now Oko has lost one of its biggest challengers.
I think,
like, one of the biggest decks that it wasn't... You could play Oko with it, but it wasn't necessarily optimal.
Yeah. I'm guessing that they're just really hoping that people are able to, like, start answering that, and if they can't, I mean, then maybe it gets another, like, maybe they ban it. If it turns out, like, well, shit.
But they, like, this is the problem when you push your face card
Yeah.
and make it really good. It's like, now, they really, you can tell they just don't want to ban the card that they is like on the face of the set.
And is selling
Like,
packs, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And also that card's like doing good in like Legacy.
Yeah.
Like it's become a big sideboard card in Modern. It's becoming like picked up by like the Urza deck even.
That crisp $80.
Eek.
I just forget, like, honestly, I focus so little on paper Magic that I'm like, fuck, that's right. People have to pay for these.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
So it's so weird. But and because that's the thing, like if the Oko decks, it's like Oko is like the thing theoretically, but part of the reason those decks are so good is because of how like you have like the whole package. It's like you have Goose, you have Oko, you have Nissa, you have Hydroid Graces. Like those four cards just synergize so fucking well. Although I will say people are talking up Nissa a lot and saying maybe Nissa should be banned.
Yeah, that's what I was
like,
gonna ask.
But I love playing against Nissa and destroying all my opponent's lands.
Yeah.
I won a game today where my opponent had no lands left because I had wiped out his Nissa creature so many times.
No, I saw that as well. People were like, some people were obviously just talking about Oko being banned, and then the few talking about Nissa, and I guess I want your opinion on what you think of the people saying that Goose should be banned.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
Goose is not that good. Honestly, like it synergizes very well with Oko, but even with Oko, I kind of think like theoretically Arboreal Grazer is just better because you can +1 onto it immediately.
Yeah.
If you get a turn 2 Oko with it as opposed to Goose.
Yeah. Well, and people,
it just like requires different things about your deck, and you have to be playing Once Upon a Time basically. And more lands. Like Goose is just it's a simpler combo, but
I saw
it requires less of your deck.
Like I think people, I don't know what the hell it is. It's like people forgot that Llanowar elves fucking existed.
Well,
and
people
they're making
get bent out of shape over 1-mana accelerants.
Yeah,
and Goose is a 1-mana accelerant, but like it synergized. It is very strong with Oko, but because of you'd have to ban Arboreal Grazer too to have the impact people want is honestly the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
because Arboreal Grazer is like it's just better than people think it is, honestly.
Yeah,
for what it allows, even though it's kind of dirtily, but when you follow it up with Hydroid Grace, it's kind of like the thing. Like this deck just fills all its holes with other cards.
Mm-hmm.
You lose card advantage when you're playing Arboreal Grazer because you're just putting a land from your hand into play, but you make up so much card advantage later that it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
The big difference between playing those ramp decks and playing the Golos decks is the Field of the Dead decks, you just get to a point where it's like drawing a land is great.
Yeah.
Like you're playing a deck with half your deck is lands because just drawing a land is good.
Yeah.
Like your land gives you like what 3 2/2 zombies or whatever at a certain point in the game. You're just like, this is beautiful. This is all I need. I don't need anything more than this. But like in the ramp decks, if you're like late game and you draw a land, you're like, fuck, kinda. Like I wish this were a Hydra. I wish there were something I could play. You do hit like those points.
It's good. It's good, like logistically, but it feels bad. Like, well, get to drop a gate pass.
Oh yeah. That's why I mean, part of the reason I like playing the Field of the Dead deck is just like you don't have those bad feelings of, damn, I got flooded or whatever. Like, it's just always kind of felt okay. Even if you lose, you don't have some of those feel bads.
I haven't been keeping up too much. What's the general package for Golo's Field? Is it still like using gates and shit, or did it drift from that?
It would Gates was never the big one.
Okay.
You only use a couple gates just to because you play circuitous route. So you might as well play some gates because you can fetch them with that, and then you want to play the rare gate land that if you have 2 gates you gain 3 life. Because that's like a way to fight the aggression is sometimes you want to Golos for that just to gain 3 life is a better play than getting into their field or whatever because you're going to die if you don't do that or whatever.
Yeah.
But like there was the main deck that's like you're just ramping with Golos and then you want to get like Teferi Agent of Treacheries or whatever. It's like you're just here for Golos and board wipes.
Yeah.
And you just make Once Upon a Time like the best card in the world to have on turn 1 because you can get all the things you need with it. You can get Field of the Dead, you can get Golos, you can get Realm Cloak Giant as a creature that's a board wipe off Once Upon a Time. And then you also play Time Wipe so you can bounce your Golos or bounce your Realm Cloak Giants so you can use them again. Like that deck has a lot of synergy. The other build that is more fun but did worse at the Mythic Championship is where you also play Fires of Invention and Fae of Wishes.
Of course.
That deck's just more fun because you get to wish for bullshit.
Yeah.
And just have your little wish board and play Nicol Bolas out of your sideboard or whatever.
See, I always roll the gates
or do what I love to do, which is Fae of Wishes into... Nobody actually does this, but the thing I got to do once I've pulled it off. You Fae of Wishes for Plane-Wide Celebration to get a multicolor creature and gain some life, and then you wish for Happy Ending or Happily Ever After, and then you win the game off that, because Plane-Wide Celebration gives you creatures that are all 5 colors.
Yeah. God. Such a dumb combo that's just amazing. Like, it's perfect. It's the jank I'm here for, honestly. Yeah. I always did the gates thing, like full on, like Gates Blaze, and then the shit. What's the draw card, the enchantment for Gates? The little blue boy.
Yeah, I know the card. I don't remember its name.
I can't think of the name. It was fun. Like,
so
being able to play.
I have heard
Jace.
speculation that version of the deck might just still be great, even without Field of the Dead. It might still just be playable, because that, like, particularly like you play that with Fires of Invention, so that you can cast your spells. You can cast that enchantment, and all your lands are untapped still.
Yeah.
So you get to just draw all those cards? That seems good.
I think I actually started playing it before I used Fields of the Dead. And then I think I was playing it and someone was talking about the list on Reddit. And someone like made a comment like, why the hell aren't you just playing Field of the Dead in this? I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's probably good. But yeah, no, it functions good without Field.
Yeah.
You just might want like maybe a few more creatures or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Gates of Blaze is very good.
Mm-hmm. And then you play my favorite way that I ever won in the mirror match was decking myself until I found Jace, like, second to last in my deck, and then played him.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Well, so that's the big brain move at some point was no, you don't put Jace in your deck. That's small brain. What you do is you put Fey of Wishes in your deck, and then you put Jace in your sideboard.
Oh.
10 out of 10.
See, I had him in my sideboard as an option for mirror match, but yeah, no Fey of Wishes. I think I have Fey.
But yeah, no, Jace in the mirror was one of the breakers at some point. Just because people, just like, games go on forever.
Mm-hmm. And see, with the Gates package, like, you're drawing a lot.
So the actual mirror breaker, though, ended up being Kenrith.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can just give all your stuff haste and trample.
Yeah.
So that was like the actual way that deck ended up going, which is also not ideal. I mean, at least it wasn't a 4 of or anything. So the fact that that's a buy a box promo wasn't super relevant, just because at least that there were plenty of copies because people didn't need 4 of them. And also there are versions of that in that are like non-foil and collector boosters or whatever.
Gotcha. Yeah. I've seen people talking about him for EDH because it's like the same principle.
He's like the new Chromat.
Or like Zakama or whatever. Like just in terms of pure utility.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, he's a good 5-color utility commander in the way that basically he's kind of better than just playing Chromat, which is the commander a lot of people would play before when they were 5-color but didn't care what their commander was.
Yeah.
Or didn't like any of the specific 5-color ones.
I mean, true.
Like he's just another utility option.
True 5-color bros just play a Sliver for the mind games.
That's just you, Ben.
No.
It's
you play Sliver Queen, and then your deck is dinosaurs. All about the mind game.
That's just a flavor fail.
Or
the thing about Chromat was that he's just a weird bug thing. Like, it doesn't necessarily conflict with your flavor.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, my deck's kind of a mess. This is a card that's kind of a mess. It works.
Or the Scarecrow.
I mean,
guy.
real bros use a Togatog also, clearly. Come on, Ben, what are you doing?
Fucking a Togatog. I got like horrible flashbacks when someone referred to Kenrith as 5-colored what the hell is the thing? Friggle? Group hug guy.
What?
Frefflefrup?
Oh.
Not Fibblethip. It's Freffleflup or Fubbleflip. The group hug guy. The hippo. Feldegriff. Hey. Just had flashbacks to that EDH match.
Bad times, man. Group hug was a mistake.
Group hug was a massive mistake. So, along with standard, we also have a new format.
They announced a new format, Pioneer, which is what everybody wanted Historic to be, except it's not coming to Arena.
Yeah.
So, the hot new way to play Magic clearly is Magic Gathering Online. The only place you can play Pioneer.
It's such a slap in the face.
It's technically not supported in tabletop yet, but it is supported on Magic Gathering Online.
Yeah, it's such a... Hey, we have the historic format coming. Also, the real modern light that you've been wanting.
Ugh. Yeah.
Ugh. So,
I don't get it. I don't get... Yeah, it makes me mad because Pioneer is cool.
Yeah.
And
it seems awesome.
but I just want the format I'm gonna play on Arena to be good, and they just they fucked up. Like Historic just seems like a total fucking punt now, and I don't know what they're doing, and they're not saying anything.
Yeah.
And they're too busy fixing Arena for anything to happen there anyway right now. So whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Pioneer is dope, but like, am I ever gonna play it?
I mean, my favorite comment from Reddit was, "All right then, 4 treasure cruise and 56 other cards." Like, finally,
except those delve cards aren't necessarily as good because you don't have fetch lands because all the fetch lands are banned.
Yeah.
Like technically, I like that they did go back for fetch lands, and then they're like, "No, we're banning fetch lands."
Mm-hmm.
Well, why did you go back that far then? Why couldn't you bring it a little far? Well, so the real reason you can say that is like because they're gonna do fetch lands in standard once shock lands rotate. They just don't want to another format with both of them, which is what they've explicitly said. They don't like the way those two combo together for new formats. Like, yeah, old formats do that, but
yeah,
it's a little much.
And it's just the allied colors, right? Because those are the only ones that would have been legal.
Yeah, because it's only 5 cards.
Mm-hmm.
It's 5-card ban list. Which is why people think the enemy fetch lands are coming with Zendikar, the new Zendikar set.
That makes sense. Be nice.
Yup.
Nobody's talking about the enchantment lands from the new Theros set yet.
Who cares about fetch lands now? Like, Modern's dead, so. And Pioneer, they're banned, so.
Modern's dead.
Who cares?
Is Modern
actually,
dead?
I care because I want some. No, but like theoretically, if Pioneer is like the Modern that everybody wants, like, because Modern's become kind of a shit show.
Well, yeah. Someone was like, "I'm sick of having like fetches cause me to shuffle my deck every 2 minutes so that I can lose on turn 4."
Yeah,
and gross.
But the thing with Modern is it's supposed to be a turn 4 format, but it's not. It's a turn 3 format now.
Yeah.
Like, it's much faster, and all the people like Modern because they like playing bad Modern decks, and the good Modern decks are kind of harshing their vibe.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way I would put it.
Somebody play Merfolk.
Hold on. Merfolk is apparently better than humans at the moment.
So. Really? Damn.
Because of Force of Negation. Force of Negation interacts better with the format than all the hate bear stuff that regular humans does, which ends up being too slow.
Gotcha. What about Slivers? Where's Modern Slivers at these days? That was a fun deck.
Not a thing.
I enjoyed playing it.
I just mean not a thing now.
Well, yeah. I would still play it. I'm one of the people playing trash decks whose vibe is being harsh.
Yeah. Also, they banned Astrolabe and Pauper because Pauper is a nightmare format now. Like, you thought Pauper was gross when I killed you with elves. No, green isn't even playable. Like, playing a not blue deck is like impossible now.
Yeah, no, I've never like so completely misjudged something in like my entire life. Oh man, it's commons, it's cool, it's a casual thing, and then like you open the door to Pauper and it's just a fucking mess. It's just a wreck. And then you shut the door and you back away.
The problem is it's not diverse enough.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a problem with strong formats. I like vintage, but although that's kind of broken too right now.
What's broken in vintage? Did something
well
happen?
I mean, War of the Spark and Modern Horizons.
Hmm.
Like they had to ban a bunch of cards.
Oh,
They had to
I don't
ban
recall.
a bunch of.
Do I recall
Yeah,
that?
man. Back.
No, I don't recall that.
The last time they did bans.
Vintage is like
they banned Karn.
Right.
They banned
Okay.
Mystic Forge.
Okay.
They banned like 5 cards or something.
Damn.
Or they restricted. They didn't ban them.
Oh, restricted. Okay.
Rather, because it's vintage. Nothing is. Very few things are banned except like Scheherazade and
Wrongfully so.
anti cards. I mean, you can play if you want to play your fucking sub game. You can still play Karn Liberated.
Sub games of Magic are the way Magic was meant to be played.
No, the way games of Magic were played are games under the table. You can only do whatever that card is.
What?
The card that's like Scheherazade, but you have to play the sub game underneath the table.
Oh my god. I don't recall that at all. That's amazing. You looking up the
Which is another
the
thing they
list?
announced was that Enter the Dungeon is the card, Unhinged.
Okay.
You play a sub game under the table, starting at 5 life.
Okay. See, the
And
5
then
life
whoever
is a
wins
big difference.
gets to tutor for 2 things. And it only costs 2 mana.
Oh god. That's gross. I mean, it's still gross.
The real question, though, is when you're under the table and then someone else plays an Enter the Dungeon.
Go to the
You're playing
basement.
The next... Okay, here are the cards that were... Oh, no. There were 4 cards restricted in Vintage back when they banned Hogak.
Mm-hmm.
Karn the Great Creator, Mystic
Yeah.
Forge, Mental Misstep,
Right.
and Golgari Grave Troll.
Right.
And then they
Okay.
unrestricted Fast Bond, which I don't think has
Right.
really seen play at all.
Yeah.
I mean, people tried, but
Well,
I don't
of
think
course.
it's great. The Mental Misstep was actually kind of crazy. Theoretically.
Yeah, I remember that now. Mental misstep specifically, I mean. Yeah, like as the formats go back, I just not it's not that I care less, it's that I hear less about them and I don't care enough to dig for information or like find it.
The real thing for me with Vintage is they run on the Magic Twitch channel they run these Vintage Super League things where like this tournament where they'll do like team like sometimes they're singular, sometimes they're team tournaments or something or whatever, and it's just great. I just love it seeing because people are like they're being competitive, but they're also playing fun stuff that they think is cool.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect level of competitiveness to me, where people are playing stuff they like, but also trying to win. Rather than just like the problem I have with like Pro Tour events where people are literally just trying to win and it gets dull because it's too try hard.
Yeah. Too sweaty. Cards slipping
A
out of
little too
people's
sweaty.
hands.
Cards slipping out of their sleeves. Luckily, they're extra sleeved.
Yeah. Was that one guy who had like quadruple sleeved deck?
Yeah, because he was playing fucking Nexus of Fate. So his cards are all foiled. And he has to shuffle them a lot.
Ugh. Disgusting.
So the quadruple sleeve makes that harder, but like theoretically, like to take care of those cards, like
Yeah.
it's actually made sense. I don't know.
I honestly forgot that Nexus of Fate was only foil because promo.
Yeah, it's one of the problems with that card
Yeah.
being a tournament thing.
Yeah. Did
They'd
they?
have to give judge proxies.
Yeah,
Though, so
yeah.
that's one of the things with Kenrith. is because there are non-foil versions in collector packs, you can't get a judge promo for it if you do it at a tournament. If you have a foil one in a tournament, you need the actual. Like, it's stupid. Stupid.
That's dumb. I mean, like, yeah, as you said, doesn't come up as much though yet. So
yeah, no, and yeah, my thing is vintage. I care a lot about. Then legacy, I do not give a shit. I could not care less about legacy.
yeah,
Modern, I'm like, yeah, there's cool stuff in modern, but also I kind of just want the version of modern that would actually be playable without like these super expensive cards. So Pioneer is theoretically a thing I really want, but also if I can only play it on Magic Gathering Online, if I'm playing on Magic Gathering Online, I'd rather play Vintage. Like, Vintage is not that expensive on Magic Gathering Online. You can get Power 9. Not that expensive, actually, there. So, why wouldn't I just do that?
yeah.
Is my take. My take is still, if I'm playing Magic Gathering Online, I'd rather play Vintage, personally. Personally. Though, I do want to play, like, that blue Artifact Storm deck that I was playing before rotation.
Yeah,
People in Pioneer is pretty appealing to me also. So
yeah. Have you
But
seen
Mox Amber's gone up to like a $20 card. God damn it. God damn it.
Have you seen any
Because it's getting played in modern.
Yeah. Have you seen any brews for historic decks? Like I've seen
historic?
Zero.
No.
Like absolute
nobody cares.
zero. Yeah.
Because it's not even really a thing. Like, you can queue into it in Arena, theoretically. But Arena, even if you make a historic deck, it's still going to, like, put that yellow triangle
I have all
symbol over it. It's like...
Because I still have all mine, and it looks like something's wrong. And that's what I thought initially. Yeah. As someone who has played the game and knew this was coming, I was still like, And even if you set it to historic and shit, it's like, oh... something's wrong. Can't play the deck. Go play standard.
And it's like, even if you're like theoretically making decks, like the way they talked about it, they're gonna add in these cards that are gonna completely reshape the whole thing anyway. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
And also, all I wanted was some Kaladesh cards.
Well, that's what people were talking about with Pioneer. Like, finally, I could play Saheeli Copycat again.
I can play the broken thing that got banned. Finally. And it can be not... And now it can be bad. Like, I can't wait for people to try to play Interworks Marvel, and then it gets OCO'd.
Yeah.
Ha! I have the perfect artifact. Oh, I turn it into a 3/3. And I gain loyalty. Fuck. That's the other annoying thing about Pioneer. Like, Oko is probably one of the best things you could do in that format.
Yeah.
It's that fucking strong. Like, it's like, oh, this would have made more sense if it's like, oh, we're banning Oko in standard. But here, you can play him in this new format.
Yeah. I mean, that would be the way to get people to play the new format. And still get their,
I don't know.
Their pack sales.
People do seem way more actually excited about Pioneer.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen a lot of deck lists about Pioneer. People are stoked to start trying to build stuff. Also because of how they're approaching it, where they're like, we're going to ban stuff, but like,
we'll wait.
Here it is on Magic Online. Test it out, and we'll gather data and then figure it out. Which is like, if you just want to like stomp people with broken stuff or whatever, or just experiment and deck build, it's very appealing.
Oh yeah.
I don't really want to do it on Magic Online.
Yeah, it's And I mean, it's funny because, like, did you hear that?
Yes, it was just it came
Okay.
through on from your side. I don't
Okay.
know what it was.
I
Do you have
couldn't
a
tell.
ghost? Are you haunted?
No, it's probably a ship.
Was Anya haunting you? She be she become a ghost when you're on a Discord call.
Yeah, her body goes to work, but her spirit stays here, making sure I don't trash the apartment. Um, but no, Pioneer would be like, I'm their target audience, basically. Like, my first ever like drafting and pre-release experience was Dragon's Maze. So
Yeah.
super familiar with gate crash stuff, and to a slightly less like Return to Ravnica as well. And then going forward, like I'm fairly familiar. So
That is my other problem with
like,
Pioneer is if you go back earlier than Kaladesh is like, oh, those are all. This is the period of cards where I didn't care about Magic at all. Here's my blind spot, which is all the cards that are keeping this thing from being an arena. Fucking
Yeah.
perfect. It's like the perfect thing to just annoy me. Because all the cards I want that are in that format are programmed in Arena already.
Yeah.
And all the cards I don't give a shit about are the ones that aren't. And the reason this can only be on Magic the Gathering Online.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I mean, what? Okay, so like hypothetically,
Yeah.
if they decided like, okay, we want to try to bring Pioneer in, like, I mean, they never fucking will, because why would they?
I mean, what they should have done was throughout this year, between set releases, like in the middle of past the last set and when the next set's put in, backfill into an old set, give you a bunch of the rares that matter from it so that it doesn't like feel bad in terms of like you needing all these more wild cards. Like do what they did when Kaladesh came back in the beta and
Yeah.
they gave out a bunch of the rares. Not all the rares, not every card you would need, but a bunch of the staple cards. And just give them to people so you can actually fucking play the format and like say this is our format that's building to Pioneer. Like this isn't like this is a stopgap format, but eventually this will build into Pioneer being full or whatever.
Yeah.
And like say like in Magic Online you can just play Pioneer now or whatever. And for now we'll have Historic, which is like mini Pioneer that's just what we can deal with, and like hey, we'll put in some, if they wanted to just add in weird random cards that they could add in spot cards that were relevant for the format, like instead of adding in fucking Brainstorm
Yeah.
or whatever
And
they're
Dark
gonna do with
Confidant.
Historic. Yeah.
Well, I'm sad I
Which
asked.
I feel like that makes more sense now. Like why they were being so fucking weird about Historic in terms of what they were adding is because like this Pioneer format was going to exist, so they wanted to be different, I assume.
Yeah. Which is still, I mean, no matter how they spun it, like, it's a fuck up.
Yeah.
Because everybody just
Well, the thing is, like, Pioneer would be perfect if Arena didn't exist.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's time for a new Eternal format. Mm-hmm. Because Modern it's fucking old. Like,
Yeah.
going back to Meriden is a long time ago. Mm-hmm. That is still, like, I tie that back more to when I was first playing Magic than now. So,
Yeah.
it feels closer to that than that, so.
Oh,
So I don't know.
I mean, I shouldn't have asked for your hypothetical because it sounded good and now I'm sad.
Yeah, no. That's what I thought they were going to do, because that made the most sense. Like, just periodically release, find the space to release these sets. Mm-hmm. Give you the cards as they come out, or some of them.
Yeah.
Because, that won't destroy it. That way the economy doesn't get crushed. Because if they just added in all those sets, it would be terrible.
Yeah.
Just like It would feel real.
Yeah, it'd feel. Yes. I mean, I would like.
You'd build your one jank deck. You use all your wild cards for it, and then you'd feel bad when it's bad, and then you'd wait to build the best deck. You'd like just build whatever was the best thing, because that's how Arena works all the time. It's like it makes more sense to build the good decks with your, because you have the wild card. If you're gonna spend wild cards on anything, you want to spend them on something that's actually you're gonna be able to win with at least a little bit. So.
Yeah, like it can be jank,
like
but it has to be good jank.
You have. Be like, or a lot of time, or you're wide-eyed your first time, and then you get burned, and you're like, I just want to win now. I've tried the fun thing, and it didn't work, or whatever. Or maybe the fun thing works, and then you're fine. But
yeah,
like me with Neoniv back then. But
and there was, I managed to do the opposite with the Simic ramp. Man, this is like the thing I want to do. It seems like it's doing okay, but like. I'm gonna build the meta deck. I could have been,
and then
it
turned out that was the meta deck.
Yeah, it turned. And then the guy went to like what Mythic 1 with it or something, like almost that list. Ridiculous. Anyway, not salty about
didn't play enough.
I mean, yeah, I was not.
You
just
didn't sideboard well enough.
Honestly, I haven't been playing at all since Destiny hit.
That's fair.
Like, which maybe is good in a way. It is. I wish they would. I wish Arena would adjust the season pass, because I still feel bad for not playing, and that's stupid. Like, that's a shitty feeling to make people who like your game have. Just because it literally is like a chore. Like, the times I've thought about playing in like the last week have been like, well, I should really get these dailies done if I want to actually bother with the season pass. But like, I probably just won't bother with it, I guess. At this point, like,
I don't know.
What's the word I'm looking for? Like the cutoff or something? The amount of shit that you can miss is very low, as we saw last time. So if I like, and I'm not grinding at the end again, that was Thankfully, I only needed like the 2 levels or whatever, but
I don't feel any of that stuff just because I just am playing too much Magic still.
Yeah.
Like, I am at a point where I'm like, I wish I just had more mythic wild cards or whatever. Like, I wish I could do a few more things and try a few more experiments with decks.
Like,
which I do think is the big flaw of Arena, is like your ability to experiment with jank that's powerful is limited, but. That's such a strong trade-off. Like the pros of Arena compared to other ways to play Magic are so strong that I can't complain too much. But I do just feel it at certain points where I'm like,
we'll see. That's
and honestly, I could buy my way out of it again.
Yes.
I've done it before. I just don't want to put more money in right now.
And I've talked about that a bit in the Discord and everything. Like, I can definitely see myself dropping a couple or a few $100 on just like in a big ass chunk to like keep up with the collection a little bit. Cause yeah, that's like that's what I love doing, is like the jank shit. Like, but I'm definitely, I'm one of those people. I'm super susceptible to like, I want to play the best deck, and also I feel the desire to like keep up with this pass and like all of that shit. Like, I'm probably their ideal customer, honestly. Like,
I don't necessarily feel the need to play the best deck, but I do want to rank up, so inevitably that will lead me to playing one of the best decks.
Yeah, something
if
meta.
Not the best deck. Or something that beats the meta or
Yeah.
whatever. And my big thing is like, if they release Kaladesh, I would put in the money to buy the specific thing I want to play, like playing
Oh
with
yeah.
artifacts or whatever.
I
But
mean,
with
that's
Historic
like,
being not in the game, basically, and like all your old cards, you're kind of like, what are you doing with them? There's no queue other than free play, which I barely do at all.
mhm.
I really just play ranked mostly,
Yeah.
unless I'm like really experimenting with some jank, or just want to get a quest done or something. But
It seems. I mean, that's what
yeah,
that's like me and Theros. Like, yeah, if Theros comes
yeah,
out, I'm throwing money. Like, probably I would. It'd be
yeah.
it'd be difficult because I would want to, if they did like a pre-order thing, I'd want to do it twice. Like, fucking hit me.
Uh huh.
And that might not even, like, some of that shit would be good, of course, but like the decks that I would want to play from it probably would not be fantastic. But yeah,
We
no,
want to be out
I.
here playing Mono Blue Devotion.
What do you mean I can't just play my enchantment EDH deck except limited to Theros and pioneered stuff
Hey,
without all the good?
you want to play some Brawl and lose?
Yeah, is Brawl in it now? Like, as a
No.
playable thing? When's that coming? That should be hitting soon.
The 20. It's the next update, I
Okay.
think.
I mean, that doesn't tell me anything about when, but yeah.
24th.
Okay, so like 2
think.
days.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
When
not bad.
Field of the Dead gets banned.
Gotcha. Because
So that's when they're updating the client. So,
Got it. Okay. So yeah, it's like, what did I saw it's like you can queue for Brawl on Wednesdays, and then obviously with friends
Yeah.
it's whenever.
yeah.
Okay. That'll probably
Really, I hope
that's-
this patch fixes the thing where every time I try to open the deck list, my game lags. That's the worst. I hate
Yeah.
it. I hate it so much. I just want them to fix that. More like, I don't really have that many problems during the games.
Yeah.
I have mostly stopped using those fancy sleeves because I feel like they glitch the game out more than they're worth. But really, what I need to talk about now is the best thing in the world of Magic the Gathering that I've experienced recently,
Oh boy.
which is the MS Paint version drawings
Oh.
of cards that are showing up in the Frogtown Discord. They're so good. There was one person who did a couple, and now another person did one, and now he's doing more.
Yeah, no, they look
there are
fucking
two more in
amazing.
here since the last time I looked.
The
They
Niv
made
Mizzet one
the,
is
the,
so
Nib,
good.
the Nib Mizzet one is now the icon for the Discord channel.
Oh my god. That's so good.
It's-
It's so good. They're
Oh man,
perfect.
now another person has done one. This is the best meme.
Honestly, like, they should just keep going. I want to use them in EDH.
It's just so good. It's just like try to, faithfully, in quotes, recreate
Yeah.
cards exactly as they are in MS Paint. And, you come in front of face, just draw a smiley face. It's fine.
I think
It's so good.
the Ginger Brute one you posted is maybe too good. Like, the art, it's not
That's the one,
garbage enough.
That's the one done by another person. It was the first person who did the Emery first, and then
I love
Niv
the
Mizzet.
Niv Mizzet one with his little like stick arm. Fucking, it's so perfect.
I just love his smiley face.
Yeah, yeah,
so
like
happy.
the dot nose. Yeah, it's perfect. It's so good. Maybe I'll try my hand. I got a mouse.
I might do a Niv Mizzet Reborn one.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Are they all like? Is it? It looks like it's just standard shit, I guess.
I mean, they're just It's the last one is I think is one of the commander cards. Anja Falcon Wrath just got done.
Gotcha.
By someone else. Greenback Rampager and Covetous Urge are the last two that got done.
I mean, with a little team effort, we could have the entirety of Standard done. Maybe even the entirety of Magic.
I mean, like, the idea started because people are waiting for high quality card versions of Throne of Eldraine. So that's why it started with a Throne of Eldraine card.
Yeah.
Just like, here, you can't wait anymore. I got you.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
I mean, the issue is
apparently Scryfall just hasn't put up the high quality versions. And apparently, like, the way he has the site built now, it's just a pain in the ass to replace the images once he puts them up.
Gotcha.
So he's just hasn't wanted to do it.
I mean,
but I think, and also, so the other thing people are doing as a workaround is just taking like the Steam Workshop item that is all the cards in Throne of Eldraine and just filling in their decks when they play.
Yeah.
Like just building their decks on Frogtown with the spaces for Throne of Eldraine cards blank. So there's like a workaround if you really just want to play with them right now. But it does, like, as someone who uses a high quality art, when you see the cards in there that are still low quality, it's kind of a bummer. Like, they're just harder to read.
Yeah. No.
Which is a stupid thing to say about, like, JPEGs of Magic cards. I don't know. The whole thing it's funny.
Yeah.
What I actually care about in terms of that stuff.
Just so
Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering.
Man, if Pioneer were in Arena, I would be so excited. Instead, I'm kind of mad.
Yeah. Angry, happy.
Although I'm just not even. It wouldn't be anger or happiness. It's slight annoyance. It's like, the fuck.
Yeah.
The fuck is this? Why is this the thing? And I'm like this close to, buying cards on or booting up Magic Gathering online and trying to play with the deck I want to play. Yeah. Also, so I'm not like immune to the allure of this format. The other thing I want to shout out is so there's the guys who do the Arena Decklist Twitter account and the Arena Decklist podcast, which I highly recommend. It's a good Magic podcast. Talk about mostly standard and modern, whatever it's like in the Pro Tour stuff. They launched another Twitter account for Pioneer Decklist. They're just retweeting a bunch of stuff that people are sharing in terms of deck lists on Twitter. So that's where I've seen Pioneer deck lists that people are just building and excited about or whatever. And they're at
I mean, that's
Pioneer DLS.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, like, that's something I could see myself following just because, at the very least, I have a knowledge of those cards. Like, I'm familiar with Modern right now. That's most of my problem is, like, people talk about something, and I'm like, yeah, sure, that sounds like a Magic card. If I had to guess.
Yeah. The big thing I would say about Pioneer, if you're looking at a deck list, though, is probably tend towards ones that have lower mana costs. I think it's going to be... There are enough cards that I think the good, like, low 1 and 2 mana stuff is just going to be really good. And at, like, 3 mana, you're probably just going to be wanting to play Teferi. The problem with fucking Pioneer is it's just another Teferi format, though.
Yeah.
Like... How good is Counter Magic going to be when 3 mana Teferi's running around?
got
It's 3 mana Teferi and Oko, man. I don't even like the power creep in Magic is so strong right now. Like I don't get why. That's the other part. I don't get why you're going back that far. Like the cards that are coming out now seem fucking crazy already. So
yeah.
But also, again, I don't have nostalgia for those particular sets. So
I mean, I'm just happy. Clearly, do you know the card Consuming Aberration by chance?
I recognize the name.
Power and toughness are equal to number of cards in everybody's graveyard. I believe it's everybody. Clearly, that is going to be meta, and as one of my favorite cards, I will be playing it.
You see, it's fucking 5 mana. Seems like meta at all.
Meta. Golos was 5 mana, and he was meta. How dare you?
Yeah, but that's ramp in a format without Thoughtseize.
Oh yeah, fucking Thoughtseize will be back.
Yeah, no, that's the real thing. Is fucking Thoughtseize in this format. Like that's like the real effect of going back this far.
I mean, I can finally play.
Hey, what if standard plus Thoughtseize?
Yeah, I can Thoughtseize into Thought Erasure. It's my dream.
Because, like, the other thing is, like, you look at the Planeswalkers that were, like, the defining of these past sets. Like, Liliana of the Last Hope. Or 3 mana Gideon. And they're kind of a joke compared to Teferi and Oko. Like, I don't... Like, they're just not as good. So, I don't know. But now, really, the important thing, though, is that we can play Circuitous Route again. Mono Blue.
Yeah.
Mono Blue's back, baby. Nexus of Fate is back.
God.
Ugh. Now you can play gross. Nexus of Fate with Jace Vryn's Prodigy.
Why? I mean, it's better than them like banning shit right off the bat, I suppose. But still,
I mean, also all the Eldrazi are in this.
Yeah,
format.
Yeah.
So
Deathrite Shaman, though no fetches.
Yeah, but again, no fetch. Well, except for our standard fetch, Fabled Passage.
That's true.
But that doesn't seem ideal considering it comes in the land. It comes into play tapped if you're doing it on turn 1.
Yeah.
This is a Mox Amber deck. Is this good enough? So, really, although what I would look for is fucking Heart of Kirin. 2 mana 4/4 flyer that synergizes very well with Planeswalkers plus Oko. That sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds strong. I don't know. But I'm so biased towards Kaladesh Forward. I don't even like really know what the strong cards in those
Banks' Revelation.
Those other sets are. Like
Supreme Verdict. It'll be interesting to see if Voice of Resurgence finds a home. Pulled one of those in like my first pack of Magic cards ever.
I pulled a Scroll Rack in my first pack of Magic.
Nice.
And a Thorn Elemental in one of my other first ones, which is less nice. I really liked it at the time, but that card has gotten worse and worse over the years. To the point where they downshifted it to uncommon.
Yeah,
7/7. It just can deal its damage without being blocked. It's for 7 mana. It's perfectly efficient. Uncommon now. Too weak to be a rare. Here's a rare in Urza's Destiny. God, creatures are just so much more powerful now.
Yeah.
That was the other thing I was hearing. It's like, oh man, you could Siege Rhino.
Yeah,
Finally, a Siege Rhino format.
Dude.
But then it's like, is Siege Rhino better than Questing Beast?
I forget exactly what Siege Rhino does, honestly.
They lose 3 life, you gain 3 life. It's 4/5
Right.
trample.
Okay.
For 4 mana, but you have to have Abzan colors.
Yeah.
Is that better than Questing Beast? If you have like 3 Panharmonicons, the answer is yes. But
yeah. I don't know if that'll
I don't know. I don't know if that's actually, like, that doesn't actually seem good enough in this format.
I mean, it'll still be good, probably. But not standard
Yeah,
good.
but you don't have fetches.
Yeah.
So playing 3 colors is not the easiest thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like it'll be like, oh, everyone's playing Siege Rhino now. It's fucking everywhere. It seems like there could be a deck that Siege Rhino could be playable in. But
Yeah. Yeah, like it'll... Yeah.
maybe some kind of flicker deck. Ooh, a flicker deck. I got myself excited. But this, I don't know. This doesn't have the flicker. This doesn't go back far enough to the sets like, doesn't go that far. Though, you can also, there is a lot of good mono red stuff. You got Bomat Courier. You got other stuff, probably.
Random Ruins.
Yeah, we can get all those sets where red was the broken color instead of green.
We can shove Tempest Jin and Master of Waves into mono blue.
I mean, the real
Treasure
thing
Cruise.
is we get to see which of these standards was actually the most broken, right? Except that's definitely not how it's going to work. You're not just going to build all these standard decks and keep them isolated and then fight each other with them. Though that would be amazing. I want that format. You can only play from like the cards that came out within a 1 year span of any given set. And you can only use build with that, but then you play against other people who are playing different years.
Yeah.
That sounds like a pretty casual format to me, but that sounds like fun. A fun time could be had by people. Who knows? It could
Possibly.
even be us. But
It
that's
could even be us.
But then we would have to play Magic. It's like, fuck that.
Yeah. I don't even know what I would... See, my problem is I don't know, like, any standard decks except for, like, current ones.
Well, you could build Theros decks, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'd just have to look up a list. I think there were heroic decks. Like Mono Black, Devotion,
Heroic?
and Heroic.
Yeah, Devotion decks.
Mono Black was
yeah,
a
but
thing. Erebus's Whip, Merchant of... Or Grey Merchant of Aristotle or whatever.
Gary?
Yeah.
Gary. I call him Gary.
Yeah.
Since he's a good EDH
Shining.
card.
Shining moment was when my friend Mike we were at the pre-release for Journey or something. I forget if it was Born of the Gods or Journey. But he managed to pull like from one or two, well, I forget what the pack count was, but he ended up with like 3 Grey Merchants because he got a foil one. And it was fucking ridiculous.
Fucking Gary, man.
He's a good boy. He likes...
Fucking Gary.
Give him a whip. Give him a god.
Meow. He goes meow. Even though he's a
Speaking of animal sounds, did they fix the fucking goose noise yet? Did we get honks?
No, they did.
They did?
Yeah, they're honks.
Oh.
They've been honks for a while.
Yo, I should go back and play.
Yeah, man. Now Goose is playable. They patched it. It's no longer broken. They fixed it.
Right?
That was
people
people
think it should be banned.
You looked at the bug reports. If you looked at the bug reports for Throne Drain, what was coming out? It's like performance. Goose sound is not a goose.
Why is it a red-tailed
Bug.
hawk? Yeah.
This card should not make the same noise as Arclight Phoenix. Fuck
right?
off.
Yeah.
No, they fixed that.
God bless.
Important work got done that day,
What is?
but there's still more important work to do.
I mean,
The other
wish
big
it
thing I've
was-
heard that's broken is like the drafting bots.
oh yeah,
Or,
people are just going like blue, black, mill or whatever.
yeah, just everybody's drafting the same fucking deck, so it sounds like no fun.
Yeah, no, I'm not touching that.
Yeah.
I wish that they had. Maybe they do, and I just don't know about it. I wish they had easily replaced sound files. Like, you know, in Payday 2, you could replace like the little thing, so you could put in whatever you want. I would for Oko's like entrance sound. I would just do like one of the what is it, Oni cartoons with like the Harry Potter thing. So he hits the battlefield and just goes,
I just want someone to
'Cause
say
that's-
"oh woo" every
"Oh,
time
woo."
Oko comes in.
Oh woo. I mean, get on MS Paint and fucking draw it up. Put the little face in.
Oh woo, go.
Yeah, bud. Perfect. Hurry before someone else does it. You can draw like little shitty abs on him.
Yeah. It's the other deck people are thinking are good. It is the Esper Control
Oh yeah.
Dance of the Mance thing that was good week 1. That then everyone who figured out and was bad might be good again.
Yeah.
Because that deck did kind of beat up on the ramp decks. The early food decks, though, I think the ramp deck is kind of different.
Yeah. Another is Sultai
The
food.
there's Sultai food, there's Simic food, there's Bant food. It's just because whatever color you're splashing along with fucking Oko. Because you have Goose, so you can kind of do whatever in a splash. But I'm just out here. I'm in the Niv Mizzet mines. Gotta make Niv Mizzet Reborn good. And I'm sad I'm losing that one, that hilarious line of losing Field of the Dead as a sideboard card that I can wish for. It's a real tragedy. Though, I did figure out the best answer for Field of the Dead, which is, fucking, what's the name of that card? Ethereal Absolution or whatever. The enchantment that gives all your creatures +1/+1 and gives your opponent's creatures -1/-1.
Yeah.
So you just get 2 of those in play, and then you're good.
Yeah.
And there's this other there's this like other enchantment from Throne of Eldraine that's just mono black. That's like whenever a creature attacks you, its controller loses 1 life and you gain 1 life.
Ravens thing.
Yeah. So there was a deck that was people have been playing that's just like playing Ethereal Absolution and that to just say like fuck your zombies.
Yeah.
I like those. So yeah, so my Niv Mizzet deck currently I have 1 Ethereal Absolution in the main board and then a Revenge of Ravens and another Ethereal Absolution in the sideboard to wish for. And that may not, I guess that won't be relevant anymore once Field of the Dead goes away. But I need better anti-Oko cards. They just don't have enough good answers for Planeswalkers. Like Elder Spell is okay, but it's not. I think the deck where you play like a Grixis control deck that then uses Elder Spell to kill your own Planeswalkers as like a combo kill. I think that could be interesting. I don't know.
Kind of just ready for like Planeswalker just to fuck off a bit. There's just a lot of them, and I think a few of them are fun. Like not necessarily referring to specific ones we have right now. I think in general having a few planeswalkers is okay, but
Yeah.
there's so fucking many and they keep getting stronger.
Yeah. It is like in Vintage, it wasn't that the 3 mana planeswalkers were bad. It's that you only have so many slots in your deck to play them.
Yeah.
So like, which one are you gonna play? You gonna play Teferi, or are you gonna play? Uh, oh, how am I blanking on her name? The one that stops you
Narset?
from Narset. Yeah, you're gonna play Narset. Are you gonna play Saheeli? No, because Saheeli isn't as good as Narset or Teferi.
Yeah.
As good as Saheeli, you get a 1/1 every time you cast a non-creature spell is, or whatever. Not good enough when you have those other options.
Yeah.
It turns out, and it's just like the way their planeswalkers have ramped up. They're kind of like pricing themselves into stronger and stronger planeswalkers whenever they make them.
Mm-hmm.
But at least we don't have fucking Renin 6 in standard.
Yeah. What's
Fucking
that at now?
2 mana planeswalker.
Yeah, two. Yeah. Didn't it crack?
I don't think
It busted
was it
100,
like
right?
80?
Oh, just 80.
Yeah, I think it might have.
I swear briefly it was at like 120 or something like that.
Probably.
Who knows?
I don't remember how to spell it. Actually, I know how to get to it. I can just look at the price list for Modern Horizons.
Hey. Modern problems require modern solutions. A play
It's
on words
at
by Ben.
120 and 87 cents. 120 $120. It's just like almost double the next most expensive card in the set. Though the next most expensive card in the set is not a mythic, which is Force of Negation.
Oh, yeah.
That's at like 62. Yeah. I'm just bad Prismatic Vista is so expensive.
That's, which one is
That's
that?
the fetch land. The basic
Right,
fetch land
right,
for
right,
Modern
right.
Horizons. Shit, I fucked up. What? No. What? Oh, no, I'm looking at online prices. Okay, here we go. No! Oh, so here's the weird thing. That 120 is Renin 6's price on Magic Gathering Online. In paper, it's at like 85, actually.
That's gross.
It's the weird thing where in Magic Online, like, because there are so fewer people opening packs
Yeah.
of it, like, and there's so many people who fucking need it if they're playing Modern, it becomes much more inflated.
Mm-hmm.
Those couple specific cards become super inflated, whereas everything else, it's like even more stratified between the cards that are cost money and the cards that are fucking worthless in Magic Online.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That makes
No,
sense.
I was freaked out for a sec because I want to get a Force of Vigor at some point because I know that card's gonna be good in EDH forever.
Yeah.
But I was looking at the online prices and that card is like at 17 online, but in paper it's at like $5. So I thought I'd fucked up and had not bought it soon enough, but no, it's still not that expensive.
Yeah.
I need one of those for my bear deck because it's a pure upgrade over Relic Crush.
At Bear Deck, though. Man, I
Need
wish
that. I need Nissa.
I wish I could like
So I'd love if Nissa got banned and then its price drops. But it's not even an expense. It's also like a $5 card. It's not a big deal. The first sliver is down to like $7.85. That was like a $20 card when the set was coming out. But
Which sliver? The
modern,
first sliver?
So. Yeah.
Yeah. Not played in modern. That's a fun card though. I would say it's tied between for me personally, like between that and Hive Lord, depending on what I'm feeling.
I like Sliver Legion.
Sliver Legion, you know what? Sliver Legion is probably also tied.
Because if you play Sliver Legion, then people aren't looking at you like, you motherfucker. Which I feel like is like the easy way to feel if someone's playing Slivers. Because they're like showing you that they're a combo deck, basically.
Yeah. No, I'm glad I turned away from Overlord. And I'd never had much interest in Queen. But they just, like, yeah, it's samey.
You're just saying that because you didn't have a queen?
Hmm?
Or did you have a queen?
In person?
I don't even know. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. No, my Sliver deck was fucking all in.
Okay.
Yeah. I had all those OG duels.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. I forgot how blinged out that you had that deck.
Yeah. It wasn't fully.
I've never had an OG duel. I've played Magic for a long time. I've never had an OG duel.
To be fair, I opted for the foil unhinged forest instead of the Somerset forest or the Guru forest. So, really it was a peasant deck. No, the big thing in that one was the foreign black border Italian tundra. It was sexy.
I've never had any of those.
I mean, it's probably like, well, I don't know. It's probably still like if you're fine dropping cash and renting them for a while, you'd probably break even or make money in like a year or two.
That's a fair point. Alpha grizzly bears are starting to get up there. Climb.
Was that the one that was like temporarily like super fucking expensive?
No, that's Forest Bear.
Bear, right?
The Three Kingdoms card.
Yeah.
Which I realized I don't actually have that one in English. I bought a foreign version because who cares? But
yeah.
But yeah, Alpha Grizzly Bears up to like $20. Fucking.
That's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, but it's a common. It's like I have a lot of grizzly bears, man.
Yeah.
I have, and I like the art on them better. Like I don't love original grizzly bear art, but it is an alpha card. Like I should have an alpha card, right? I should have one card from alpha. Grizzly bear seems like a good choice. I don't know.
See, that's like, I guess just to be clear, like. None of my duels were alpha or anything. Like that's fucking absurd.
Yeah.
Like just for anyone who might have got the wrong impression, I did not spend like $4,000 on a card. That's too much.
Yeah. Forest Bear, you could get one in English for $40.
Ooh.
For a grizzly bear that just has a different name, so you can play another one.
Yeah, man.
But non-English, you can get it for $30.
Hot damn.
I paid like $15.
Okay.
Because I got it before Ayula came out.
I wanted to get the Rebecca Guay card that like started off the whole art deck thing. It was Carpet of Flowers. In English, it's like $5. In Chinese, it's like 15 or 20, and then Korean, it's more. I forget how much more, but it's like a significant amount more because it just looks good. Like it has that aesthetic to it. So. Also, naturally, Inquisition of Kozilek is way more expensive in Spanish.
Uh,
Yeah.
what's beta? What's beta grizzly bear at?
Beta boys.
Okay, I can get a played one for like $7.
Okay.
One in near mint, it's like 20 maybe. But I don't really. I want a played one. I want a grizzly bear that people played with.
You want it
Doing
pristine.
it anyway. No, I want it. I want it like it was in somebody's lunchbox or something.
Mm.
I want grizzly bears that were in the world, Ben. I don't want grizzly bears that haven't seen shit. I want to go to war with a card that's been through battles.
Give me your played. Give me your heavily played.
Yeah, man. I don't care. I'm not.
That was the thing, like.
I'm not here to invest. I'm not making investments where I need pristine pieces of paper.
Yeah.
I need objects of combat. I want cards that have tasted blood.
Oh, God.
Blood-stained cards.
Yeah, the blood-stained mire.
Look, I went to a Magic Fest, and you know what cards I bought? The ones where I went through a box and found the ones that somebody had drawn on with a fucking pen.
Hell yeah, dude.
Because those were cheap. Also, a lot of foreign cards were in there.
Yeah.
Those boxes are mostly foreign cards, but a couple of them were ones where like just someone had, drawn a little thing on it or whatever.
Yeah, man. I think there was it was probably a super popular, I think it was a post, God knows how long ago, like a super long time. I think someone had found one of the Power 9. I don't think it might have been a Black Lotus or one of the mocks that someone had drawn on to make it like a proxy mountain or something like that. Like they needed an extra one. God bless kids.
A proxy mountain? That's hilarious. It's usually the other way around. Kids are hilarious. It's true.
Yeah. Punks.
I want to see. Oh, actually, I guess I have to do modern. What? I was looking for Dominaria under standard. Why isn't it here? Wow. What? No. Again, look at the online prices. Man, Mox Amber is now the most expensive card from Dominaria.
Hmm? Mox Amber is the most expensive?
It's now the most expensive card, yeah. It is now more expensive than Teferi.
And that's because of modern?
Yep, because it's getting played in the Urza deck. It's because of Emery. It's now much better. Now that there's basically 1 mana legendary creature to turn it on. And also in that deck, just playing, 0 mana artifacts is just good. You just want a bunch of those anyway. And if they produce mana sometimes, that's cool too.
Yeah.
But once you get Urza, they produce mana anyway, so.
You know how it be.
So it goes.
Magic is wild.
Wild. And free. I mean, it is free.
It's kind of free. Now, anyway.
Yeah.
Legally.
Arena exists. So.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think that's an episode. I think we can stop.
Yeah.
Did you see the Tears of the Storm preview where they're just literally using an image they used before?
Uh, yes, I think.
It's literally just the claw marks on the Hanamura door.
Right. Yeah. 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 I
Where
did see
like
that.
everyone was like, it's Deathwing originally, and then it was like, no, Diablo did that. And it
Yeah.
turned out it was the Diva reveal or whatever. And you're just
Yeah.
like, wait, what? Or the Hanzo? It was Hanzo and Diva, I think.
Something. Yeah. Maybe it's
I don't
Deathwing
remember.
this time.
That's what people are thinking. People was like, maybe they actually did Deathwing this time. That's why they're showing it again. Who knows? Who knows?
Nobody knows.
Somebody knows.
What if nobody
Somebody
does
at
though? What if they're
Blizzard.
just like it's all chaos?
That'd be pretty good. They just announce Diablo again. It just this time it turns out they're announcing Diablo. It's just the
Man,
Diablo skin.
what if it's a really shitty like review or like preview image and they're somehow gonna announce like HGC coming back? That would be nice.
HGC's never coming back.
Sad.
Hey, do you know what happened at the Mythic Championship? Somebody shouted out Hong Kong, and it didn't seem to become a thing. He did do it
Oh.
very quickly. He didn't like put on the full gas mask or anything. He
Yeah.
was just wearing like a little. He was wearing like a bandana in front of his face, but he did slip it in there.
Yeah. I think Wizards like they're not doing anything. There was something I saw on Reddit. I didn't click on the post, but like I saw someone did something and Wizards isn't going to do anything. Rightfully. So
They probably don't. Yeah, I mean, they probably just don't have as much business with China as Blizzard does.
yeah.
Blizzard has a lot of money tied up in China, so. But that was just a thing I happened to notice in like the part of that show I watched, which I think was like the end of day one. Was mostly, or I might have watched a lot of day one. I don't remember. I just put it on in the background for a while.
Gotcha.
I think I might even watched a bunch of day two too, but I didn't watch top eight because I didn't care enough. Because I didn't think those decks are interesting enough. I just want Vintage Super League to come back. Actually, I just want Eternal Weekend to happen. Because that's a big. Where like that's just like where all a good bunch of tournaments of those older formats happen. And that'll get streamed on Twitch. But let's get out of here. I'm rambling. I'm losing it.
It's because it's magic.
Salt Circle
baby.
Podcast at gmail.com. I haven't checked that email in a while, but you could send us something. You could send us an idea for a thing to do or whatever, or just a question. If someone sent us a question, I would read it.
Yeah.
Because no one does. You know.
Maybe I'll
just,
send a
just
question.
Throwing that out there. Finally, Ben can get his question asked on the podcast. I've been waiting so long.
I'd put it on my resume.
Salt Circle Pod and Twitter, Salt Circle Podcast, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify. You know, our anchors are hosted at anchor.fm/Salt Circle. You can find me on Twitter at Comic Panels.
I'm on Twitter, Bean_LP. Yeah.
And that's an episode.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll do another one sometime. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Or we could talk about Destiny 2 right now.
What's your light level?
926. 927.
Still. I think I'm at 911.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just not as experienced with Destiny as I am.
I mean, I haven't played it as much. I've played it like twice as much as I have, apparently.
Yeah, but you played before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you played it more
What?
than me.
Yeah.
Just not since.
Oh, yeah,
then.
definitely. Not on Steam, though.
Yeah,
That's all
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
My Steam time's much lower.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, before I start rambling, turn the tables. Ugh.